Back again with another season preview with Jake Nile. Jake, looking at the Swans now, a good little draft haul getting an academy player and Logan McDonald from Western Australia.
Yeah, look, and they had a really good hand having Braden Campbell as an academy player because a lot of clubs rated him in the top six players, and that gave them the opportunity that they got effectively two top six picks. When you look at Logan McDonald, who could have been picked anywhere from one to about five in the draft, and they were lucky enough to get two players who were rated very highly on top of the young talent they've already got. But it's talent they really needed because they've had a lot of players exiting the club in the experience bracket, and the rebuild's been probably slower than the Swans would have liked.
For many years, all the attention at the Swans has been around Buddy Franklin, his fitness and his form. He's suffered a bit of a setback this pre-season. What do you have in store for Buddy this year?
Well, you just got to hope that he gets on the park. And once he gets out there, he'll play great footy, even at his age. What is he now? He's 34. So there's not much left. He's contracted for this year and next. You just got to hope that he gets out on the field. So it's all about his body. His approach to the game is extremely professional. He's still, if he gets out on the field, with apologies maybe to Isaac Heaney, he's still their best player. He's a player that not only Sydney fans, but if you're a fan of AFL generally, you love watching Buddy Franklin, and to see what he can do, it's like the latter years of a great boxer or of any great sportsman, to see what they can do when they maybe have lost just a little bit of speed and a little bit of agility, when they can use their smarts to sort of still perform.
Well, you mentioned Isaac Heaney just before. He suffered an ankle injury last year and missed much of the season. Him and Franklin in the side makes them a much better side, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and Isaac Heaney's not reached his ceiling yet. He's a player that the Swans have to work out how to use him. I think he's another player where you want him to be getting his possessions midfield and forward, not behind the ball. I don't think that's necessary at all. He's brilliant in a contest. He's an outstanding overhead mark for a player who's not that tall. And he's tough as nails. So they've just got to get him right. He really should be their best player. So Franklin might be if he gets out on the field, but Heaney really is the player that can make the biggest difference to them.
The midfield struggled a bit last year. They ranked 16th for clearance differential. Do you reckon there's too much pressure on the likes of Josh Kennedy and Luke Parker to carry much of the load?
Yeah, there has been, because those players have not got a lot of leg speed. The Swans need a bit more run, and that don't forget also they lost Tom Mitchell a few years ago, and that's probably not looking like such a good deal in hindsight. No, they need the players, that group of young players that were brought in to take the next step, to get them closer to the finals. They've probably got a fair way to go to get back into contention, but certainly they should be looking to improve on where they were last year.
What do you make of John Longmire this year and his job? He signed that long contract after he was thought to maybe go to North Melbourne. Is he under any sort of pressure, do you think, this year?
Well, he's an AFL coach, so they're under pressure. That's just the nature of the beast. They're looking at, for Sydney, I said last year that for Sydney to have 2 years out of the finals is a recession for the Sydney Swans. To have 3 years out of the finals, which I expect, that's a confirmed recession for the football club under John Longmire. So yes, I think there's a need for him to release the shackles a little bit. He's a very defence-oriented coach. There was the game against Richmond last year where both he and Damien Hardwick sparred about who was to blame, and I think for that game, which was a bit of an eyesore, I think for Longmire, it's not about getting them into the finals, which I don't think they can, but it's unlikely. I think it's about playing a brand that will excite people.
All right, Jake, on to the predictions now. Who do you see as the big improver at the Swans?
I think Ollie Florent, he showed signs last year that he was becoming that player that the Swans thought he would be when they drafted him. They drafted a range of players. I mean, Rowbottom I thought was very good. Haywood's a player that can certainly come on, but I think Florent's the guy that's ready to deliver, and I think we'll see him become certainly a very strong midfield player.
And who do you think the pressure's on the most at the Swans?
Oh, Buddy Franklin. Buddy Franklin will be, unless there's a front-loaded contract, I don't know, a back-loaded contract I don't know about, he will be the highest paid player in the AFL. He is on $1.5 million about next year. in the 8th year of the contract. He's the biggest name, or close to the biggest name in the game, and he just hasn't played. So there will be, until he gets out on the field and plays, there'll be a constant discussion. There'll be discussion about the deal and how the bona fides of that deal, whether it's been worthwhile in the end. He's a fantastic player, but I think that he'll be under the pump, buddy.
Well, they finished 16th last year, the Swans, with only 5 wins. Where do you see him finishing in 2021?
I see them going up the ladder a little bit. I don't see them rising up to the finals, but I see them finishing somewhere between where they were in the bottom 4 and they're sort of in the, I see them in the sort of 12, 13, 14 range rather than in the bottom 4 or 5 range. I think they're going to improve.